Well, it is 10 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, August 26th, and you have joined the LOA Scope with Bob Doyle from The Secret. Hey, Carla Slashes, Love on Fire. Good to have you here. Let me flip. Oh, Clark, Sandal, Eileen Gross. Hello, Stephen Mann. Boy, you guys are awesome. Love the regulars. You know, it just gives me a reason to wake up in the morning. Hi. Sherry Amy has joined. Shared on Twitter already. You guys, awesome. Thank you, Carlos. Jay Trivolino. Boy, it's just like, it's like when you have a party and like everybody shows up on time and it's like bringing everybody through the door. Hey, hugs. And there's like a line of people waiting. Okay, I think I'm going to sneeze. Vanessa, hey, thanks for sharing on Twitter. You guys, I really appreciate it when you share. I am really trying to build up my followers here. I think some of you know that I've mentioned before that I had @BobDoyle as a Twitter handle for quite a long time. Hi, Shy. Nori, hi. And had like 12,000 something followers. I never did anything on Twitter. It was all just organic, I guess, because of The Secret. Oh, thank you. I'm going to mention that. Again, Love on Fire. Hi, Sandal. And now I've started @BobDoyle Secret because, I don't know, somehow somebody suggested, I don't know, it just happened. And now I'm starting all over with followers. So it's, it's a real deal. So I kind of got to ask, Shipley Sally joined. So again, thanks for joining. This is the LOA Scope. We do this 3 times a week, 10 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I choose a topic that is attracted to the law of attraction and hopefully try and get some comments going. Oh, I missed the comment about Blab. I want to talk about that too. So, by the way, the other day, some of you know this, some of you don't, but I started at highlights of my week. Awesome. So, I started my LOA Scope on Monday on the wrong Periscope account, and there were like 4 people there, and I went for like 15 minutes and just said, I don't know where everybody, and then afterward I realized, oh, I'm on the wrong account. Did it again for about 10 minutes, then we went over to Blab. So we're okay, great, Sherry. It's the LOA Scope. So Blab was interesting, and I liked doing it. And I had one technical hiccup during that too. It was a technical weird morning. Okay, Sherry, and yeah, the thing froze up, and I learned my lessons. I got to do. Hey, Robin at large, I love Blab too, and I think it's great for the Q&A. But what happened the other day was we only had a couple people ask questions. We had 30 or so in the room, but nobody really wanted to ask questions. No one wanted to come on Blab and ask questions. So I wasn't really sure what that was about, but I'm going to try again at a different time. I probably won't do one today, Law of Attraction one today. I'm going to do a voiceover one today. I don't know if any of you listened to Pass the Talent the other night. I was one of the featured artists, and I did my voiceover process for 6 minutes or so. And today on Blab, I'm thinking I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that as well. It's just really sharing my voiceover process, where I get the jobs, how I edit, so I'm going to have one camera on me talking, and then I'm going to use my phone with I've created another Twitter account called Bob Doyle Camera 2. Huh? How clever is that? And then so that can be showing the actual screen where I'm doing my editing. So it's just sort of a technical test today. I know you're not here to talk about any of that. You want to hear about finding your passion, I'm guessing. So that is the topic that I've decided to discuss today. And thank you very much. That is the topic I want to discuss today. And just like the other day when I came on with about fear, I don't know exactly what I'm going to say on this. I've been talking about the subject of passion for quite some time. In fact, I wrote a book 5 years ago called Follow Your Passion, Find Your Power, all about, following your passion and finding your power. It is a law of attraction book, and it talks about the power of passion in terms of manifesting in your life. But because of that, there's this ongoing message about finding your purpose and finding your passion, and I think it gets people a little like they overthink it. Is there any? I'm just curious of you watching. Are there any of you who struggle with knowing what your passion is? You want to read my book? I actually set up a redirect to Amazon. You can find it at Amazon, or you can just go to followpassionfindpower.com. Follow Passion Find Power. I hope it's working. I set it up to work. If it doesn't, you can just go to Amazon and and do a search on Follow Your Passion, Find Your Power. I really like that book. It's my second book. The first one was Wealth Beyond Reason, based on my program. Thank you, Vanessa. And but this was I guess it was written 8 years after I started this work. And so it's very refined in terms of the law of attraction and resistance and all of those things. And definitely with an emphasis on finding your passion. Thank you for saying so that I am the man, but you are a series of numbers and letters, so I have to view your profile to hopefully get a name, OTR, and there's no profile description. Well, thank you for the kind words anyway. So let me ask the question again, and I'll pay attention. Are there any of you who struggle with this whole idea of your purpose, your passion, and all of that? Just thumbs up or yes or just something, just so I kind of know. And if not, then that's fine too. It's just, well, here's my thoughts on it. Here's what I was going to say. People do get, see, you think you know yours. Series of numbers and letters, yeah. So, all right, I'm going to have to veer from looking at the comments to keeping on the train track, okay? Because this happens every single time. I want to engage, but when I get into the teaching part, I kind of have to stop talking. All right, so the thing about the passion, the first thing I realize is that people have got this, they've attached a lot of significance to discovering what the passion is or their purpose, the one thing. And a lot of times, because they don't feel like they're 100% sure, they don't take action on anything. They're waiting to be really clear, to it to be shown, for it to be obvious. And they go, well, I don't know what my passion is. So there's a lot of reasons that we become disconnected from our passions over the course of time. I go off, I have a rant that I do when I'm on stage about this, but when we're kids, we're naturally passionate and exuberant, and we're just playing full out, and it's just, we're very clear on what we enjoy and what we love and what lights us up, and we do that as often as possible. But then what happens is at a certain age, the kids start getting, all right, now it's time to get serious. Now it's time to go to school, and now it's time to follow this plan. And, well, we don't have time for that kind of play anymore, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, over the course of time, and I really do, I go off on a real big rant about the education system normally, but I won't do that right now. But the basic idea is that, we just our passion gets squashed out of us, and some of us learn that, well, if it's not responsible to follow our passion, or if it's not real, or we get this idea that, well, I'm passionate about this, but I can't make any money from it, so, and that right there just stops people. Because, when I ask people what their passion is, sometimes, or challenge people to come up with their sense of passion, so many times they think about it in terms of the money they can make. Like, well, I'm an artist, so I can't make money doing my passion, so I got to come up with another one. I mean, seriously, people are thinking, like, that's not the thing they're really passionate about. They've got it, that's not the right one, because they don't see how it's going to make them money. And so in this whole conversation we talk about the importance of finding your passion and living a passionate life so that you can manifest easier. Somehow the money thing gets tied up in there. And that's a problem, because now people don't even spend time doing their passion, doing the things they're passionate about, because they're putting all their attention on earning money or whatever, and then just trying to figure out, well, what am I passionate about that could make money? Do you guys see how flawed that thinking is, especially from a law of attraction point of view? You're saying to yourself, and the rest of the universe, by the way, that what you're passionate about doesn't have enough value to bring in money, or to sustain you, or to give you a life of abundance. This is the conversation you have. Now, that you may not have originated that idea. Society may have originated it. You may have very specific beliefs about, if you're in the creative arts, how much money you can or cannot make, or it's a lightning strike if you're successful. There's all this input about limits, and that you have to be so lucky or whatever, that following your passion isn't enough. And we start learning that pretty early. And if our parents are of that mindset, we learn it from the beginning, and so again, that's how our vibration gets built on over the course of time. It's just a teacher says it, you see it on TV, a parent says it, all of those things. And so it becomes a part of our belief system, even though we don't like it, and it's not a belief system we would choose. It's just programmed into us. And now we've got this vibration going out there like, well, you may say to yourself, if you either say, I don't know what I'm passionate about, because there's so many different scenarios. Some people disconnect from their passion because it's too painful to think about the thing they're passionate about when they have a belief that they can't do it, or that they aren't good enough, or that people will look down on them if they do it, or whatever. So they don't even look at what they're passionate about because it's just too painful. Well, I'd love to be doing this, but I can't even think about it because I can't do it because I can't make money. All these stories. And so then they create the story that they don't know what they're passionate about. They actually did know when they started the story, but now they've talked themselves out of it, and now they've got this whole thing about, I don't know what I'm passionate about. The ego loves this because now you're just stuck. You don't have to take any action. See, when you say I don't know what I'm passionate about, there's this unspoken part of the sentence that says, so I don't have to take any action towards doing that. So I don't have to worry about any of this. I'll just keep going. And that's the ego, just trying to keep things the way they are. And so as soon as, and look, if somebody told you, like let's say there is something that you love to do and somebody told you right now as an adult that you couldn't do it, to stop doing that. It's not responsible. You'd probably be very irritated and resist that. But as kids, we just kind of, probably at first we're bummed, we're confused, but we get eased into it, and now we're adults with those belief systems. So a lot of my work when I'm working with people on their passion, reconnecting to it, is to unhook from the importance of, oh my God, I've got to find my passion like there is only one. And same thing with purpose. My purpose on this planet has changed over the course of time. There isn't just one. I mean, there may be a thread like of contribution or teaching or something like that. But in terms of like what I am contributing about, that's going to change. For a few years, it was fitness and then the law of attraction. And I'm hugely, I mean, I don't talk about it much on Periscope yet because I haven't quite figured out how to get the audience. But I actually have a very strong passion, on the ukulele, not just playing it, but on the transformative power of it to open up people's sense of creative self-expression, musicians and non-musicians alike. So there's lots of things that I'm passionate about. It may be, who knows, that my purpose may move from spreading the word of the law of attraction far and wide as much as I possibly can to sitting around with kids and elderly people or whatever, teaching them to play the ukulele to open up their self-expression and to change them energetically on that level. That may change. So that could be the case with you too. So don't get so fixated on figuring out what the one purpose is. It's really just relax. I'm glad that you needed to hear this. I'm glad that you did, Amberly. See what happens every time I read. But I can't not read. I cannot read the comments. I ask people just to relax about, forget the word passion, forget the word purpose. What do you like to do? And sometimes you have to ask them that because they're resistant to answer because, again, they're still thinking about money. How's it going to serve them? What do you just like to do? And don't think about the financial consequences or anything. Just what do you like to do? Just make a list of things you like to do. Okay? This is for any of you who are struggling with this. The things you like to do. It could be play cards, go fishing, dance, play the ukulele, write, take walks, pet the dog, any of these things that give you that, oh, I really like this. And if there's things you really, really like to do that you know that you are quote unquote passionate about, write those things down too. And allow that vibration of, oh, I really love this stuff to just take you over. Just really consume you, because you're going to shift. As long as you don't judge it, as long as you write these things down and go, yeah, but that's not good enough. Excuse me, this is not your scope. Dogs. Just to see that there are a lot of things that you like. And then sometimes you're going to see a common thread, like among all these things. Like I said, in mine, there's a lot of things that I do that involve giving back. I don't really think about it that way. I don't think of myself as like this, oh, I just love to give back. That's just the kind of guy I am. I don't think about it that way. It's just what I end up doing. It's just what I like. It's very natural for me. I learned something exciting and I want to share it. And that can be the cool app I found the other day, you know, or the ukulele, or the law of attraction, or fitness, or just whatever excites me. When Glenn gave me this thing, the LOAscope, a custom button. So I just like to share. But I don't think of myself as like, well, I'm put on this planet to, you know, make the lives of people just a little bit easier. I do this because I love to do it. I get a charge out of it, and it happens to give value. And so I think that when you look at these, when you look at your list of things that you love to do, you can I don't want you to get attached to it, but maybe you could start looking at it and go, well, you know, there's some value here. If I maybe taught someone to do this thing, or offered this service up for people, or whatever. You know, I talk about Fiverr all the time. If you're a creative, and you want to find a way to turn your creativity into some cash, go to Fiverr, will you? And just look around, and don't think that it's about $5 every time you do a job, because it's not. It's about more than that, and it's really a lot of fun. And I know I keep threatening to do a Fiverr series on how to, you know, and I really should, because it does tie directly into law of attraction. For example, the voiceover stuff. I didn't do voiceover for 20-something years, and I was just getting the hankering to do it. And so I went to Fiverr as an experiment, and now it's turned into a real, like, this would be a full-time income for most of the population. And I just do it a few hours a day, and I do it because I love doing it. That's why I do it. It's not, I mean, it turned into the money because I saw, wow, I can really build a lucrative business out of this. And I think that any kind of creative person can do that. But I do it because I love it. I look forward to it. Now, not every job is a dream job, I can tell you. But anyway, the point is, I'm finding time. I found time to do what I love to do, and I found a way to monetize it, you know, and in this case, it was through Fiverr. But anyway, so just do that simple exercise. What do you like? What do you like and love to do? And just write all those things down. Because I think it'll be interesting exercise for you, because I want you to notice as you're doing it, the judgments that come up. And in fact, you should write those in another column. Because, you know, as soon as you write one down and you hear, yeah, but, pay attention to that and say, and what is that sentence? Yeah, but what? And write that down, because those are gifts for you. Those are gifts, because now you've identified areas of resistance that are running you, that you may not have even been conscious of. Okay, so when you write down, oh, I love to do this, and you hear a yeah, but, finish that sentence, and then go back and work on that as an area of resistance with EFT or the Sedona method or PS Tech or any of your other release techniques, whatever you like to do. I think really the key here is, and this is just a general law of attraction exercise, anytime you're thinking about what you want, you know, and it's outside of anything you've ever had before, you're going to have some sort of thought of resistance. And most people just get stopped right there. They hear that thought and they go, oh yeah, that's true. That what I'm hearing in my head is true. And they just stop. They don't take time to analyze it and go, wait a minute. What is this voice that's saying, this is my little idea. Wait a minute. You know, they don't take the time to go, well, where did this voice come from? Why do I think that's true? And then do the work on it. Because then you can get free of it. And then you can actually start moving into action, doing your passion without this judgment. I mean, seriously, I would say to any of you, forget about the money. Forget even about the big picture of how this thing plays into your life. Just make time every day to do something that you really enjoy doing. And I'm going to tell you also to be conscious about it. You know, like, notice that you're doing something that you love. And really allow yourself to experience the gratitude for just taking the time to do it and the feeling that it gives you. You know, just allow that vibration to grow. In other words, don't be unconscious about it. Don't just whatever. Notice that you're doing it and go, wow, I'm really, really enjoying this. You know, and you could maybe visualize a life with more of that in there. Again, not the how will this work, not any of that. Just include it in your vision. If you have gotten away, finally getting in touch with Lynn Rose. I was in touch with Lynn Rose. I have an announcement about Lynn, by the way. Open loop. Anyway, okay, so I hope that helps. I mean, obviously I could go on and on about this. I wrote a book on it, for crying out loud. And again, if you want to pick up. I don't even know what they're selling it for over at Amazon anymore, but it's followpassionfindpower.com. Will take you to the book. You can also link to that book and my other books at boundlessliving.com. I'm going to remember you, Frankie. Hold on a sec. Frankie Wonderful. My name is Frankie. Get busy living or get busy dying from Shawshank Redemption. I'm here for you. Random acts of kindness. Comedian, lover of life and the people and animals in it. So guys, when you come onto the scope and you see some comments from people that are interesting to you, check out their profile and maybe give them a follow and see what they're up to in their life. This, also Periscope is another fantastic way for you to start sharing your passions with people, right? I mean, you may not get crowds of hundreds to watch you crochet or whatever, and Blab is another one. And I'm finding that lots of people are doing that. They're going to Blab and sharing their creative talents that way. What a segue to what I was about to say about Lynn. Lynn wanted me to share, and we do this for each other because, hey, James, Andrew. Lynn and a few of her songwriting friends are doing a Blab tomorrow at 10 a.m. And this really does go right along with what we're talking about here because, of course, obviously, if you know Lynn at all, she's a very talented singer. She's very musically inclined. She knows a lot of amazing people in the music industry. And she likes to write songs, and she's actually got a CD project going on in the back of her head. And so tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Blab, she's going to get together with Harold Payne, I know all these guys, Nathan Aswell and this guy Freebo. And Freebo used to play bass for Bonnie Raitt. All these guys have been around. Grammy winning, it's just a lot of accolades in this group. Very talented people. I've had them, they've all been in my home. And I've heard them all play their music, and it's all amazing. And I know, of course, that Lynn is amazing. So Blab, a songwriting collaboration. So each of them will have a screen, and they're going to write a song. They're going to collaborate on a song. And you get to watch the whole process. And obviously, because it's Blab, you can actually contribute, ask questions, whatever. Maybe they need a line. Who knows? It's going to be fun, I think. And that's one of the things I see is Blab going, and I'm going to do my voiceover scope, which is also sharing my creative stuff. What I heard about, I don't know if there was a sewing circle or something, but lots of crafty things are going on Blab, and that's a way for you to just share what you're up to. Again, you're not being attached to money, but here's what's going to happen. You're going to create a tribe. People who like what you do or can contribute to what you do and create your own little sense of community there. And that's one of the things is when you are sharing your passion with a bunch of people, you find other people who share your passion. Now you've got a group mentality that's more energy, more creative minds working, and maybe you all could come up with something that way that you would never come up with if you had just kept everything to yourself. So what I'm saying is when it comes to your passions, just play full out, put yourself out there, do it, do it, do it. Okay, one last announcement and then I'm going to run. Tonight, I say tonight, I don't know, 6 o'clock at some time zone, Carl Harvey is taking down the replay of the interview I did with him on The Big Life last Wednesday. And someone mentioned looking at it again last night. I've gotten a lot of great comments about it. If you want to see it, it is free, but you got to go today because otherwise it's gone. And you can go to bobdoylelikesthis.com/thebiglife. bobdoylelikesthis.com/thebiglife. And that'll take you to the replay of that video interview with Carl Harvey, who is just one of the best interviewers I've ever worked with. Watched it twice, Charmed Mess has said. So wow, there you go. There you go. So I guess those are the URLs for the day. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't finish up the Blab thing with Lynn. To find out about how to do that, blab.im/LynnRose. blab.im/LynnRose. And I think you'll see that she's got it scheduled there, and you can subscribe, and then you'll get a notification when it happens tomorrow. That'll be so fun. I can't wait to see how that works out. Lynn's great on Blab if you've ever watched her. She always just gets really cool people in there. And, thank you so much, Charmin Mess, for doing that. I'm trying to remember. Hold on. I need it. Nina. See, I'm telling you, I need to have like a little name cheat sheet where everybody's name is whose username I know. I'd much rather call you by your names. All right. Is there anything, just briefly before I end this, if there's any little, short question you want to ask about? Oh, you were in the Blab? You were in the Blab the day before yesterday. Yeah, my mind was, was kind of scattered with the whole Blab thing. Wait a minute. Wait. Frankie, was that you that was, no, I talked to Ray on there. Anyway, I can't remember. I had the technical problems, but I'm going to do more LOA blabs, but I want to kind of get an understanding of the psychology of the people who are showing up. Are they going to want to ask questions? Are they going to want to come on to camera and ask questions? Or are they just kind of in lurk mode, hoping someone else will ask the question because maybe it's too personal, they don't want to put themselves out there. And I can understand that. It's just that maybe that's not the platform. That's all. I'm gonna give it another try at a different time of day. Probably not today, maybe tomorrow. Autumn McGrath in lurk mode. Yeah, you will? Okay, Sweary Fairy. Well, look, next time I do one, I'll schedule that. I'll make sure everybody knows in advance. Oh, about the voiceover. Did I do? Oh, wait a minute. The blab about voiceover. Oh, with Joe and Lynn, the late night one that didn't really talk about voiceovers at all. Anyway, sorry, we're having our own private conversation here. So again, thank you so much for joining me every day here, or every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the LOAscope. If you have any topic ideas, you can always direct message me on Twitter at @BobDoyleSecret. And if you're not following me there, I would love it if you did. And any new 30-day stuff coming up. And, Vanessa, I'm so slammed. I mean, I've got so much going on with my coaches and getting ready to launch that coaching organization. If I put one more project on my plate, it's not going to be pretty. I think that the puffiness of my eyes will be even more if I try and take on anything else. So I don't have any other 30-day things planned in the immediate future. I got to get some of these other balls rolling. Okay. I was going to see if anybody had any last questions or comment about passion. But wow, I'm so sorry, Frankie, that I'm just yes, you have that amazing voice. Oh God, how could I forget? I totally forgot. I'm so sorry, but now it is slamming back. You have got to start voicing cartoons and things like that. You've got to do it. And you could go straight to Fiverr, create a profile, and come up. I will be whatever. I'm telling you, you are sitting on a gold mine with that voice. Not kidding. You guys, I don't know how to tell you to listen to her, but very unique. Stuff is good. All right. I'm going to run and do some voiceover, actually. And take a bike ride, get outside, get some vitamin D going up in here. And you guys can join me again on Friday at 10 a.m. when I'll be doing another Law of Attraction Scope. I was saying, if you have any topics that you'd like me to discuss on the LOAscope, you can direct message me at BobDoyleSecret and let me know that. Okay, Frankie, how can we do that? Well, direct message me. Direct message me and we'll figure out how to get in contact. I'd be happy to help you move towards this, okay? And also when I start doing these voiceover scopes probably on Blab, that's probably the better way to do the training of Fiverr than Periscope because there's so much screen switching. Direct message me, Twitter, at BobDoyleSecret. Or you can find me on Facebook. I'm so easy to find. I'm everywhere. I am everywhere. I am so not stealth. All right, everybody, enjoy your Wednesday. And we'll talk again soon.